Hi guys, I'm Tracy. Thank you for joining me today. So today is a good old brush haul. I have brushes from Hakuhodo, Sonia G, and Wayne Goss. So let's just get right into it. I'm going to talk about my Hakuhodo order first. So it came in this really pretty lavender box. I was a little concerned because I think the last couple orders I didn't get a box, so I was thinking they kind of did away with that, but maybe I didn't order enough or something. But anyhow, this is a brush that I have been eyeing for quite some time. And so these brushes, I literally just took them out of the packaging, so they're not going to look like how they're supposed to. So this is the J110 or the B110. It's made out of goat hair. So I've seen this on other videos and it does really puff up after you wash it. So this isn't really a good example, but I just wanted to show you guys, what I've got. So it's made out of undyed goat hair. It's 38 millimeters, and it is on their site. It says it's their best-selling blush brush. So I was just like, oh, I have to have it then. I saw Jaybird Walking talking about it, and she compared it to the Wayne Goss 12, but I think she was maybe looking at the original 12 that was with dyed goat hair, but they don't look alike, at least what the 12 looks like now. I mean, I think this will flatten out, but I can tell the ferrule on the Wayne Goss is much wider than the Hakuhodo, and it's a medium density. It's not super dense like the 210. The 210 is much denser, and it's got much more of a, has a pretty significant taper, as you can see. Okay, there we go. So it's not sparse, it's not super dense, it's kind of just just right, like a Goldilocks brush. It's not too dense, but it does have a pretty decent amount of resiliency when I'm doing this, and it is kind of on the longer side compared to what I'm used to. I've been using the Sonia G, the classic, the Cheat Pro, which is much shorter, but this is gonna look a little shorter after I wash it. But this is something I've been trying to get or considering getting for a long time, so I'm really excited to wash this and see how it changes. So that's the J110 or the B110. The next one, and this was kind of like a last minute decision, and I don't know if I'm going to regret it, because I've never really been able to get used to an angled brush. And so this is the G511 highlighter brush, and it's made out of blue squirrel and goat hair, and the bristles are 28 millimeters long. So there you go. I'm gonna try to get it to focus there. So you can see the different hairs kind of mixed in there, and there are 3 in this kind of like shape and hair type. This is the smallest of the 3. There's a medium size and then there's a large one. The large one is quite big, but I am a little surprised at how tiny this is. Now I know it's gonna kind of bloom after I wash it, but it's probably not gonna bloom as much as the goat hair brushes, because squirrel hair tends to keep its shape a little bit more. But it looks way bigger online. I mean, this is almost like, it's a highlighter brush, but I was hoping to use it for bronzer, but I just think it's going to be too small. So it is probably just going to be a highlighter brush for me. So the main reason, something I was really looking forward to using it for was my LYS bronzer, because I like doing it like here, and I was hoping the angle will kind of help, which it might. I'm going to try it for that, but it just might have to be a highlighter brush for here, which I don't need because I have a few small highlighting brushes, but I'll try it for that. Maybe I can try for, I don't contour my nose, but maybe I'll start now that I have this, and like here and here. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna definitely give this a try soon, and I'll get back to you guys on what I think of it after I've been using it for a while. So that's the G511. And then another one I got from Hakuhodo is a flat paddle shaped brush. This is the G5505, and this is made out of horsehair, and it's 13 millimeters long. So I got this because I use the other two paddle shaped brushes all the time, and this one is just a bigger version of the other two I have. So you guys can see the progression here, and they're all about the same shape. Hope that comes out okay. So it's just, they're made out, these are all horsehair brushes. This one is just, I think, 1 millimeter longer. This is 13 millimeters. I believe this is like 11, and this is 10. So it's 2 millimeters longer than this one. So you can kind of see that there. So I use these for packing on shimmer shadows, and these work really good if you want a very strong application, like if you're using the Natasha Denona, the like glitter shimmer formula, or the Viseart shimmers, which are my favorite. I'm going to use these to kind of put like a bigger application, like if I want something kind of to take up more space right here. So I'm sure it's going to work great. I just haven't had a chance to use it yet. So that was my last Hakuhodo brush. And then I did get a couple from Beautylish, and one is I got the Sonia G Builder 3. So I've already played with this a little, and it's a packing brush, and it's just amazing. I mean, I just don't think you can go wrong with the Sonia G brush, because I didn't really expect much out of this. The reason I got it is so that I can get the free shipping, because I was going to get the next brush we're going to talk about. And I just thought this was very unique because it's very flat. This is dyed Chikuhodo goat hair, and this is 10 millimeters long. And she describes it as a laydown brush, a smudging brush, and a buffing brush. So I've only used it as a laydown brush so far, and it works great. I'm also going to use it to like line my eyes, and I'm using it like for the outer part of my eye to really like pack on the dark shimmer right there. In fact, I can kind of do a little demo so you guys can see how great this brush is. So I actually, another thing I got recently is the Natasha Denona Mini Zendo palette, and I freaking love this palette. It's what I'm wearing today. It's so beautiful. I just got it yesterday, and I've just been like putting more and more on. So there is one color in this palette that isn't very impactful, and I've heard people on a few channels mentioning it, and it's this lighter shimmer right here. But so I was using, I don't remember, I was using another brush and nothing was happening. No color was coming on my eye, and then I used this. So like I really like wiggle it in there, and I was able to get some color payoff with this brush. See how it does that? See how you can see that color? I was not able to do that with any of the other brushes I have. I can't remember which one I was using, but this one, it happened to pick it up and deposit the color beautifully. I mean, it's not as amazing as the other two shimmers in this palette, but like this one is really strong, and this middle one, this kind of like silvery green one, that color is really beautiful, and it just takes a little, and it really gives that. I put it like in the middle of my lid, and it really shows up. And I'll show you guys with this how this brush can work for a really high quality shimmer formula. So I'm not putting too much. I'm just going to put a little. I'm going to put this towards the inner part. And see how that, I mean, I already had some on, but it just like so beautifully applies shimmers. And so I'm just so glad I got this. And because of the shape, it's going to be really good for like lining on the lower lash line too. So I look forward to using it for that. And then the last brush I have, so this is the whole reason I put an order in with Beautylish, because I've been waiting for this brush to come back in stock for a long time. And this kind of completes my Wayne Goss like squirrel hair eye brushes. So except for the like liner brush and the like the itty bitty brushes that I don't have, and they're not in stock anyways. But this is the Wayne Goss 6. So this is the third blending brush that he has in his original set, which is the, actually, so he has, this is the 3. This is the biggest blending brush, and I've had this for a while and I use it all the time. The 4, and this is the 6. So focusing there. So it's the only flat paddle shaped brush in this series, and these are round, and I use these all the time. These are so great. And when I was looking at the Hakuhodo site and I was looking at a lot of their squirrel hair eye brushes, they were all at least in the $30 range, sometimes like close to $40, and this is $25, and I believe the number 4 is $25. Anyways, they're a little cheaper, and since I knew I liked these so much, I figured I can't go wrong with this. But I'm kind of regretting it because it is not, and I haven't washed this yet, so I have a feeling it might change when I wash it. Actually, I'm pretty sure it will change just because of his other brushes that have kind of bloomed a little and became a lot more able to pick up shimmer. This one so far hasn't been picking up shimmer too well. So, and it's a little narrow to be using for buffing, and it's a little soft to be using for lining. So let me show you guys what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna get that shimmer shadow that I did with the Natasha Denona color that I did earlier, and when I put this on, it's just not as impactful. I know it's kind of hard to see because I don't have like a magnifying camera, but it's not as efficient at packing on color the way this one is, or the way the Chikuhodo Z-10 is. These are both great packing brushes, and I was just thinking it's very similar to the Chikuhodo Z-10, but it's a little longer and it's about the same width. And this is gray squirrel and this is blue squirrel. So blue squirrel is considered superior to gray squirrel, but to be honest, I really can't tell. I mean, they feel identical. They're both super silky, and this brush is amazing at packing on shimmer. It doesn't perform the way these do, these horsehair brushes, but I really love the way that my eye looks come out when I apply shadow with this one. So far I think I still prefer, you know, these two over this one, but I'm gonna give this a little more time and see how it changes after washing. So that was the last brush of my haul. And just really quickly, I'm going to do a little update of my last haul, the Chikuhodo Z-10 and the Sonia G Phase 2. So I've been playing with these pretty much every day, and I freaking love this brush. Oh my god, it's just like so much better than I could have ever thought at outlining the lower lash line. It's so precise, and it gives such a natural diffused look without actually having to diffuse it. Like, I just Let me see if I can show you guys this kind of dark shimmer shadow in the Mini Zendo palette. It just like creates the perfect smoky eye, and it doesn't take really any blending. Like I just went like that, and I had like my lower lash line done like to perfection. So I cannot recommend this brush enough, and I did expect it to perform well because it is a Z-series brush, but I think it's just even better when I'm actually using it. And I was a little disappointed at how short it was, but it performs so well and it's so comfortable. And I think it's going to replace my Wayne Goss 20, because this one is just not as soft because it's smaller. But I still will use this for like very precise lining, but I'm reaching for this for the lower lash line over all of my other brushes. And now really quick, this brush, I still haven't really figured out what the best use for it is yet. I tried it for my liquid M Cosmetics serum blush and it applied it fine, but because it's not so densely packed, the brush soaked up the liquid so much, and I feel like a lot of product was just being wasted and was seeping into the bristles. So I've been using it for powders. So I did my blush with it today, and I also did my bronzer as like a contour, and it worked fine. I do think I prefer like the Cheek Pro better for blush, but it's kind of between, if you had to kind of compare it, it's between the Soft Cheek and the Cheek Pro. So it doesn't give as light of an application as the Soft Cheek, but it doesn't give as much of a strong application as the Cheek Pro. So it's in between these two. That's what I've been finding. So if you just kind of want a slightly strong blush application, this is great, and it feels really nice. I'll show you guys if I can get a little more on. So you can kind of really like pack on the color. So that's what that looks like. Okay, so that's pretty much the brushes that I want to share with you guys today. And as I continue to use these brushes more, I will give you guys an update on the new brushes that I talked about today. So that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time. All right, bye.